We are actually ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this over to Sheriff for Dragon's Lair, the legend. Let's go!
You gotta get...
All right. So, hey, I'm Sharif. I'm running this game. You guys can introduce yourselves as well. You guys know all these people.
I'm Brossentia.
You guys know all of them.
Johncarls.
Kowallazy.
So yeah, so as far as I can tell, this is the only Game Boy game in this entire marathon, which is just like a huge bummer because this does not have everything that the Game Boy has to offer.
Yeah, it does.
This doesn't?
No, it does not.
It has
I do-
dragons, at least.
And a little more on that later. But yeah, I figured I'd have Mr. Game Boy back here on the commentary as well.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah.
If you're really into dragons, you're gonna be pretty disappointed by this game. just
Yeah,
so you
if
know.
you're into the game Dragon's Lair, you are also in for a very, very rude awakening. But I'm gonna be ready to go, so I'm gonna click. I'm gonna hit start and then count down from there because there's like a transition screen that's completely necessary. So I'm gonna hit start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo.
Okay, so a lot of things just happened there. So I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge that I jumped up a waterfall, and then with like the promise that I'll explain why later. If that's okay with everybody. I just died. That's fine. I'm tired, and so this is not gonna go as well as it could, but that's okay.
What's really interesting about this game is that you'll notice the backgrounds, all of the items that you see in any part of any level are all platforms. They are all traversable, and the whole physics of that is basically the point of this game. So none of these are enemies. None of these can hurt you. There are no attacks. There are no weapons. There is no gameplay. There's just jumping.
There's just Dirk and you and me together on this journey.
It's misery.
Yeah.
You've never played this.
So what John was saying basically is that every single thing on the screen has collision.
Yes.
If you can see it on the screen, then Dirk can run into it. And Dirk can also probably fall through it like he did just there on the tree branch. So this is Dragon's Lair, the legend. For the Game Boy. This is part of the famed Dragon's Lair series. You guys might know it from the arcade game, like the QTE action adventure arcade game starring Dirk the Daring. And he's saving Princess Daphne from the evil dragon from his lair with his sword. In fact, the box art for this game has all of those things. It's like I just showed it to everyone on the couch back there. And this game has literally none of that. Dirk does not have a sword. There's going to be no dragon. There's going to be no lair. There's going to be no Daphne. There's nothing. There's just emptiness.
This is nihilism, the video game.
Oh my gosh.
Post-apocalyptic.
So the actual objective of the game is to collect 194 of these different flashing
Correct.
cubes.
So you have to collect all of them.
Yes, every single one of them. If you get to the end point of the game and you do not have all of them, nothing happens. It does not tell you need more.
It just does nothing.
Does
yes.
nothing.
So you guys might have seen that I left a few of them behind. Maybe some of our more astute viewers may have seen that I left some of them behind, and that's because this screen is a dead end. The game started us a quarter of the way through the game for no reason. So if you guys like that first 2 minutes, you're gonna love the next 2 minutes. This is so good.
Yeah. So
So this is probably if we're gonna have donations, this is probably a good spot for it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, we have $50 donation from Salem the Saw, who says, "It's not much, but I hope this helps someone who needs it more than I do. The world is still a great place to be." Thank you so much for that $50 donation.
Yeah. So let's talk about so what's up with this Dragon's Lair game that has no dragons or lairs? So as you can probably, if you might have figured out, this is not a Dragon's Lair game. There, I made that jump, which is really good because dying there loses 20 seconds. So this is actually a reskin of another game that Elite Systems made called Roller Coaster. It was made for the ZX Spectrum in '85. This game was made in, I don't remember what year, '91. So 6 years later. So this is a reskin of a 6-year-old game by now. And Roller Coaster is, it's a game where you wander around an amusement park. And suddenly these moving platforms suddenly make a lot more sense because it's a Ferris wheel. So there you go.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
It's so dumb. Why choose Dragon Lair out of all possible IPs, you know.
I have a theory that there was some sort of expiring license thing happening. We're gonna do this the slow way because I don't want to die again. So basically, so instead of saving, so in Roller Coaster, you have to collect 239 of these. So they spared us, I don't know, a third of the game.
Oh,
so.
good.
And there's like rooms and stuff missing. So we're back where we started, as you might have figured out. So now we can actually progress in the game, which is great. So I'm gonna start talking about why this category is called Beat the Game EU. I'm playing on the European version of this game because the US version is mean and I don't like it. So there's a few differences. Also, another minecart stage. There's a lot of them. Also, if I keep walking on this minecart, Dirk will fall through. So I can't do that. This is the first intentional death of the run. The other two were not intentional. I'm just tired and bad at the video game. So differences between the US and EU version of the game. The big one is the US version has fall damage. So if you fall a certain number of pixels, you'll just instantly die. You have you get in the European version you get more health, not more health but more lives. So every 42 collected life stones you get an extra life with a cap at 10. So if you had 10 lives and you got 10 more lives, if you have 10 lives, which is the max, then you won't get any more. Also, this game has no continues, so if I die 10 times, the game's over completely. So super marathon safe run. Good job letting this through. So it's really good. Another big difference in this game is that the American version lets Dirk jump continuously if you hold down the jump button, and the European version doesn't. And that's actually a good thing because this game has a lot of precision platforming, and but the controls aren't like precise, as you might have been able to tell. And so being able to jump when I want to is really good. But the side effect there is that there's some weird things with his animation when he goes down slopes, and we're gonna see my favorite version of that coming up in a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting how this game's been routed to basically account for the fact that you are going to cross through several of these rooms more than one time. So it's optimized essentially to make sure that you get them either with the easiest jumps or just the easiest path on the way back. Also, you might have seen him go through the wall there on that previous screen where the pig was.
Yeah.
That is the intended solution of that, and is a very difficult part of the game that can definitely snag up a casual player because there's no indication that there's a wall there.
Is it the only place you go through a wall?
All right,
Yeah.
here's the slope. Here's the slope we were talking about. So here's what Dirk looks like. So we had a little fun there. That was good.
That's the only fun we'll have,
That's
though. Don't
literally it. That's all we got.
Yay for fun.
Yeah.
We're all happy.
I'm glad I made those jumps. I die on there a lot. But yeah, so that one life stone that's behind the invisible wall. What happens is that when you're coming down those slopes, it's just sitting there tantalizing you, like, how can you get me? And you have to go through an invisible wall on the previous screen. So that's real good. Yeah, you mentioned, John mentioned the routing in this game. So one other person runs this game. He was one of those children that was duped into buying this game by the misleading box art, Skittlebrow. So he runs the US version of the game. And so he did a lot of this. He ran this way before I ever did. I just created the speedrun leaderboard for it. Also, yeah, shout out to that. Falling. Okay, yes. Spikes. This is important, actually. So there's two types of spikes. There's the fat spikes and the thin spikes. Thin spikes is instant death, as you saw. Fat spikes is not instant death, as you saw. So what happens is that you actually have an invisible health bar, and it resets on every stage, on every screen. And you don't know how much health you have. You don't know. It's a lot, though. So don't worry. So if you see a lot of flashing on the screen, I'm actually taking damage, but don't worry about it. It's fine. Also, in the American version, that little opening is exactly 1 Dirk wide down to the pixel. So that's really cool.
Oh, nice.
So the thing about so this is like you guys have kind of figured out. This is kind of like a wide open map. It's not like levels or anything. You're just basically exploring a map. I can't believe I missed that jump. So we're basically exploring an open map with like that was stupid way to die. So yeah, we're exploding an open map. So the way it works, checkpointing works, is that basically every single screen is a save state. It's a very, ZX Spectrum-y way of saving state. So basically, if you die, as you saw there, you basically enter the stage exactly how you did on the previous turn when you died. The interesting side effect of that is infinite death loops are a thing as a result. And so if you did like a leap of faith, which is sometimes necessary in this game because game design, if you did a leap of faith and it happens that you died, well, you're just going to die over and over again. And you can die like that as well. So that's dying twice there happens sometimes. It's no big deal.
We may be able to show that off after the run, hopefully.
Oh,
which would be
probably.
pretty cool.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
probably. Yeah, I heard you guys like minecarts, so there's 2 more after this one.
Oh no.
Yeah, the way this game is handled, its
Sorry.
port or whatever you want to call it of Dragon's Lair is really interesting. Like the whole game concept is based around essentially getting these collectibles and intense platforming. The only real threats to dying, as Sharif said, is to falling in pits or those thin spikes. There are no enemies attacking you, or the amount of damage you can take per screen is really high. As you saw, you'd hit the spikes several times. So it's just kind of a strange addition to the Game Boy library. I guess just using the Dragon's Lair license is so confusing. But
Yeah, I'm very
It's just
confused by it.
I've never seen a game.
Yeah.
I've never seen a game built around this kind of gameplay before, which makes it kind of fascinating.
So I've died twice on this minecart. So you can go ahead and go for a donation right now.
Yeah, totally. So we got a $50 donation from Relin McStone.
Hey, Relin.
Relin!
If it's a game that eats inputs and has amazing jump sounds, it sounds like it must be a Sharif game. Good luck on Wailing the Night, sir.
Thanks, Relin. Yes, sometimes if you jump and hit a direction, Dirk just doesn't go in that direction. So that's real cool. That's what Relin's talking about.
Okay, we have a really tight jump coming up here.
Ah,
That's okay.
And it's also a required intentional death as well. There we
Nice.
go.
Second try is good. Second try is really good.
So we'll have 2 lives coming out of here, which is a little bit dicey, but we can do it. So I believe in myself, I think.
I believe in you too. Yeah, so these minecart sections, you may have noticed, previous screens, if you die, you just go back to the beginning of that screen, but the minecart sections send you back to the beginning of the minecart section.
So that's why I went to the end of the minecart section to create a new checkpoint at the end here.
Yeah.
So this is the laggiest screen in the game. I call it that because it's the screen with the most lag in the game.
Nice. I can see why you would name it that.
It has a lot of lag, but it only lags whenever Dirk walks. So I just jump a bunch. So that was that. That was the laggiest screen in the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
nice.
So there you go. So it's gonna be. Oh yeah.
Yay for lag.
Oh yeah.
Yay for lag, yeah.
Oh yeah. Lag is. Oh, I mean, it's a core part of the Game Boy experience, as anybody
Hey.
familiar with it. You know that.
Yeah.
It's true.
Welcome to the cemetery.
It's probably 90% of the
There's
Game Boy
spooky
experience.
ghosts that you can ride.
So yeah. So when I was showing John this
Also
game,
not enemies,
Yep.
yeah.
He's like, that has to be enemies, right? I'm like, no, those are also platforms. Literally, it's all platforms every time.
Dirk just sees something and he's like a parkour expert. He's like, that's a platform. I don't care if it's a
Absolutely.
living being. I'm just jumping off it.
All right, so this is a really scary room. If I fall in this this river here, I go back to the first stage of the game and I lose 4 minutes. So let's not do that. That being said, I'm probably gonna do that. There we go. I kind of got stuck there, but that's fine. Okay, I'm going around once just because safety.
It's okay, you got this.
I'm going around again because safety. I have a lot. This is a very, very generous estimate, so I have lots of time
Nice.
here.
Well done.
Good.
So we did that part. This is also very frustrating. So welcome to the Petrified Forest. This has the coolest background in the game. The trees are blinking at you, and once you notice that, you can't not notice it. So that's fun. So you guys get to enjoy that now.
That's so creepy.
And sometimes you fall through that platform because hit detection is a suggestion. So you just do it again, where you actually land on the platform, and then you make this jump, and then, oh, I actually made that jump again, and I don't know what to do with it, so we're just going to go around again. I've made that jump like 5 times ever, and I have like 900 attempts in this game because I don't like myself. So more fat spikes, so we just get to walk across it without any repercussions here. All right. So this is gonna be like the big crucial turning point of the run here.
Turn back.
So turn back. So this is like the scariest room in the game because
And we can get some serious time for this jump and explain it. But the jumps between these ghosts are fairly precise at the to get across and get the items as well.
Sweet.
Wow.
Nice, well done. Yeah, it can be really hard jumping back and forth between those, avoiding accidentally falling off to hit the spikes, and also get the different power stones that he needs to progress.
And the collision on those is absolutely horrible.
It's
Trying to line
really
up is
bad,
really
yeah.
difficult.
Yeah, so another fun game design decision. If I fall in this pit, I fall back 8 screens, and you lose 40 seconds.
And
So
that's
really
bad,
fun.
right?
It's not ideal.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to pass under the rest of the game to get 1 single life stone, so donations.
Sure. So we have a $10 donation from Drex.
Hey, Drex!
Hey, my main
dude.
man Drex, who says, thanks for playing this video game. In very big air quotes, I might point out.
I made him play it on his stream.
Sharif, and showing us why Awful Block is best block.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks, Drex. All right, so we're right at the end here. So this was a very long hallway, as you might have seen here. So we're jumping on more spikes because we can. This is also a platform, in case you were curious.
Aw. That's the cutest platform. This
It
is
is
the goodest
definitely
one.
It is definitely the goodest platform. So yeah, so there's a little bit spoilers for the rest of the game here, but this is the Lake of the Dead, but we have to get to the Lake of the Dead. We have to go through the crypt, which is here, yeah, that's what's happening right now. We're getting back. This is sort of we're getting towards the end of the game here. My PB is a 1434, so we're way behind that. So that's perfect.
Ah, that's fine.
So we're gonna jump on these on these tracks, which is they act like fat spikes, so we can do that to avoid one whole loop here. So that saves like 15 seconds, which is pretty nice.
That's some pretty cool routing.
Yeah, that was Skittlebrow. We're actually gonna go around anyway. I don't have enough lives to take the intentional death I'd normally want to take there, so we're just gonna go around because we have time. So we can spend more time together. Oh, we're gonna do it again. It's fine. This happened in my other marathon run of this, so it's fine. So it's as long as
Tradition now.
yeah, it is clearly. Oh, I'm gonna take the death anyway. It looks like. Oh, that's super unfortunate. Oh my
Okay,
God,
you got
1
this.
life. This is awful. All right, it's fine. Do I have? Oh. So that's how you do that fast. This is the Lake of the Dead. The Lake of the actually this is not the right thing at all. I am clearly kind of out of it. That's fine though. So yeah, Lake of the Dead. There's no swimming in the Lake of the Dead, and also the sign does damage.
That's some good game design.
It's
right there.
really good. And remember how I said everything has collision? Well, let's take a little jaunt on the clouds here.
You're really on cloud 9 there, aren't you?
I am. I'm on cloud 7.5 at
Get
best.
it?
That was okay.
Yeah.
That was okay, John.
All right, so this is the last part of the game, and guess what? It's a minecart stage. So it's the titular like roller coaster in the original game. Also, the Lake of the Dead is the dolphin pool, and I just find that hilarious for whatever reason.
Yeah, this is cool that you get to ride on this eagle.
This is actually really cool, like the setting
Oh, I
and
love
everything.
the mountains. They're just awesome. Like the artistic director, I think, did
I
a
do not know
great
what to do
job
about
here.
this. I think we're gonna take the scenic route. I do not know if I have an extra life here, and it's fine. We're underestimate here, so we're gonna take. So I missed that.
A leisurely stroll.
It's gonna be a leisure stroll. We're gonna take it
Yeah.
all the way back and then all the way back. So it's gonna be fun. So we're gonna go do this. We're gonna grab 194. Also, if you fall to the right there, you end up at the cells, which is like halfway through the game. So I didn't count the number of, but it's very far back.
It's really nice of them to put that in there right at the end of the game.
It's considerate, is what I would say.
Yeah, it extends your gameplay. It adds value.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It is. It's about quality time with the game, basically. I think so. I missed one, and I just don't know if I have an extra life. And normally I just take a death, and just try again. It's way faster than what's happening here. But I legitimately don't know if I have an extra life or not. So we're just gonna do it, and hopefully I make this jump this time.
Come on, birdie.
You got this.
Should be fine though. Oh, I had an extra life.
Oh,
Sweet.
good.
Well, that's good.
Let's actually make this jump this time, guys. This is old. Okay, so that was 194. So there's one last jump we got to make though. So it's not over just yet. But once I land, time is coming up real soon here. Ooh, that's a very slow time.
Oh, it's fine.
And time.
Wow. Woo, the clutch. The clutch finish by our
Wowee.
Sharif.
So this is the entire ending screen you get. It's terrible. This is trying to retcon, like this is basically supposed to be a prequel to the original Dragon's Lair, but it's just garbage. And also there's a really cool high score screen here, and this is the only reference to Dragon's Lair you see. You have Dirk there. He got 19 stones, and you see misspelled Daphne. Daphne doesn't have an I, and she got 23, so that was really good too. And poor Mark only got to 193 and died, which is almost what happened to me.
Wow. He almost, that could have been you. You could have been Mark.
It literally almost was me, because I did not know if I had a life or not.
Oh man, but you did it. You
Hi,
got it.
Mark.
Oh hi, Mark.
Well, hi, Mark.
So are we good to
It's a high mark to beat.
Do we want to show off the infinite death loop or not?
Yeah, go for it.
I have it's like 2 minutes to show off an infinite death loop. Okay, so this is the one that Skittlebrow introduced me to, and it's definitely the best one. But this is what happens when your game. I'm gonna skip a bunch of this stuff now because we don't care. So we're gonna just go.
Essentially, due to the fact that each
I have to go
screen
this way.
starts as kind of its own safe state, you are able to make a jump into a new room and it be a jump into a death. You will continually spawn doing said jump into said spikes over and over till you lose all your lives.
It's an absolute riot. We're gonna see it together here, so it's gonna be real good. I'm just gonna not care about any of this. So it's actually in the dead end room with the big tree, which is the entrance of the of the arcade or the amusement park. It literally says the word entrance on it.
Oh,
Why didn't they start us at the entrance though?
that's a good question.
Guys, why didn't they start us at the entrance? Oh, also you get a mine cart again, which is real nice. But I'm not gonna be doing any jumping, so we can just hang out here, guys. So, how do you guys like the room?
Love the run.
That's pretty good.
All right, I'm glad I
was-
got to show it off.
It's kind of cliche. It's like every GDQ they put in Dragon's Lair: The Legend European version of the Game Boy, and
Absolutely.
it's just
I know, it's like it gets played out after a while, I guess, yeah.
like, when will the GDQ committee stop putting this run in? Is what I want to know.
And also, Skittlebrow, no, I'm not running the American version. That version's evil.
Yeah.
Evil. Yeah, so it's right here. Well, not quite. There's one more room here, but you got to do it this way. Oh, that's a leap of faith, by the way. That's real good. So actually, you're gonna see why this is an infinite death loop. You saw those spikes right there under the column. So if I hit left here, I'm in an infinite death loop. So just like.
Just by going back a screen.
Yeah. So the one thing I didn't say about this is that every death is actually avoidable if you're frame perfect. So if you have one frame to avoid any death, and so if you like jump out, then you can actually get out of that.
Wow,
So
you
there
did it first try.
So there you go.
So if there's a tasser out there, they need to make a run of this.
Yes, and
because
also-
they could never take damage, jump on everything.
And then also, if you can phase through walls, because Dirk falls through everything. So yeah, those are my two pleas to a tasser.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah, I'd like to thank AGDQ for having me. This was my first run, and it was great. So I really appreciate you guys having me. Thanks you guys for being on the couch.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Go give
everyone for being
Sharif a
here.
follow on his Twitch stream.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, be sure
But yeah,
to like
All
the
right.
page right there.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Thanks.
Comment that subscribe button.
Comment that.
What were we gonna say about Voldemort in the last run?
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, so there you go. All right. Thanks everybody.
Thanks.
All right, thank you so much for that run, Sharif. Up next, we have Sword of Sodan by NPC. So we're going to go ahead and get set up for that run and keep this awful block rolling through the night. And keep on dancing, of course. Whew, get that dance going. Meantime, I'm going to go ahead and read a couple donations while we get set up for this next run. We got a $25 donation from Ojive, who says, "Wow, Dark Souls has aged way less well than I thought it had." Referring to, I'm assuming, the previous game being Dark Souls. And to be fair, it is a precursor to the entire Dark Souls series. Not at all Kingsfield, but that game for sure. We also had a $10 donation from Pime, who says, Dragon's Lair, The Legend, is probably the oddest game I've ever seen AGDQ do a run of. Do you even have fun with this game? How does this game work? I mean, I think we had fun. We got a $100 donation from Tired But Breathing. I spent the night in the ER. Thanks to the wonderful staff there. All is well, though. I want to thank GDQ for distracting me and helping me through. And, well, here's $100 to help someone else make it through as well. Glad to hear everything's going well, and thank you for the donation. And I want to remind everybody watching at home to make sure to grab your favorite trash can and hug it tightly for these wonderful garbage games that we have set up for you throughout this awful block tonight. It's not every day that you get to, get good use out of that with these wonderful video games. So thank you so much for staying up and watching these with us tonight. And also make sure to grab your favorite ocarina and play all of your favorite tunes like Smash Mouth, All Star. Let's go ahead and continue with some donations here. We have a $40 donation from Wilhelm3. It says, greetings from Straya. Congratulations, everybody, on another awesome event. Thankfully, I can watch all these fantastic speedruns at work during the day. Then I come home and watch even more runs. I'm going to put this one towards Cuphead. So that is actually going towards a bonus game incentive for Cuphead, which is currently at $29,298.52 of the 75,000. We're a little over a third of the way to getting that Cuphead run in. If you want to see more games in the marathon, definitely donate towards those bonus incentives as well as any other incentives that we have, of course, running through the marathon. But I love seeing new games or even just more games added to the schedule. Obviously, the more games we add, the longer we go, the more you get to watch GDQ. So go ahead and get those donations in, and thank you so much for that donation. We have a $15 donation here from Elosical, who says, the awful block is my favorite part of AGDQ. Awful games for an awesome cause. Thank you so much for that donation. We also got a $15 donation from IQ Wrestler, who says, AGDQ hit home this year as my pop was diagnosed with cancer just before Christmas. But his outlook is good thanks to early detection. I can't wait for him to win his fight so I can say a winner is you. I also want to give another huge shout out to the cam operator. Really just doing a fantastic job here at AGDQ 2019. Excellent. We also got a anonymous $250 donation with no message, but thank you so much for that donation. That was actually towards the Cuphead bonus incentive, so thank you so much for go ahead and donating towards that.